Let's get Poncho in here. How about you just send him the password?
Okay, I'll type it.
Very secret password.
Now we are ready.
Alright, we're good to go.
Alright, so stream is up.
Um, doesn't look like it yet.
Let us know when the stream is ready, Porked Up.
It's up. It's up already.
It's up? Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, so, hey everybody. We just had the remake. Most people in the stream watching probably already know this. Have the remake. We're going to try to rush through the champion select as fast as we can, get this game underway.
And I'm here to replace Whitaker. He was busy today, so I'm Poncho Grande, and I'll be co-casting with Mike today.
Yep. Whitaker was kind enough to, volunteer to cast when we needed one, even though he had a very busy schedule. Then Poncho was available, and he said, he'd like to step out if Poncho was willing to cast because, he's so busy. So, thank you to Whit for volunteering. Thank you for Poncho helping out.
No problem. Alright, so Ionia versus Bilgewater. What do you think of the matchups so far?
This is going to be probably the best chance any faction has of being Bilgewater. Ionia came in second last tournament. They're looking really good. I think they're up on the balance of power. I know they were. I think they still are. I haven't checked, but so yeah, I think Ionia has the best chance to beat Bilgewater out of anyone. Although Bilgewater is still the team to beat. I would say Shadows has a chance because Freljord showed when you ban spells against Bilgewater, you tend to do better. And that's how Bilgewater lost his first set of future matches. And Shadows has Night Terrors, which would give them a chance to ban spells, but Shadow has 3 bans against them.
Hey, is Twitch not loading for anyone? I can't get it to load.
Twitch is up for me. I can see the stream.
It's not loading for me. Let me ask Factor's chat.
Check my browser. No? Everything else is working. I can't get Twitch to, reload or anything.
Well, in Factor's chat, they're saying Twitch is working, although I don't see it working and you're not, so...
Yeah, that's weird.
Alright, well, they're saying they hear us, they see us, so let's just continue with this. Okay, so very quick champ select. Very quick, which we appreciate from the teams. We need to get this going. Same team comp as before the remake. Yeah. What do you think, Poncho?
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? Just about this game, what do you think the chances of each side winning are?
Ionia in the past so far, they've had probably the best success against Bilgewater. So actually, no, it was Freljord last week. Freljord was the first to actually ever defeat Bilgewater in a set of featured matches. Wasn't that last week? Or
memory? That was last week. They won while Bilgewater had some summoner spell issues, and so that helped him out.
I wonder if Naga's having issues. I don't see him in raid call.
Oh my.
And Dark is offline for me.
Now before it comes up, but Bilgewater used their one remake. They can't remake this game again.
Please.
I did announce that in the last game. So.
What would happen in that case? if they're not able to remake it.
Bilgewater would have to continue on 4v5 unless Ionia chose to remake. If Ionia chose to use the remake, which would be unlikely, I will message Heavy and let him know about this.
I just messaged him and asked him. We got 28 seconds still. I still can't load Twitch. That's annoying.
That'd be unfortunate. I was rather looking forward to this game. Yeah, I do feel that Ionia does have a really decent shot of winning this if the game ends up going a proper 5v5.
Yeah. I think, Ionia does seem like the strongest faction outside of Bilgewater right now. I mean, Freljord, I would like to put money on them repeating their repeating their, amazing feat last week by being Bilge, but they have 2 Mia champions and a ban, and a similar spell banned against them. I don't see them performing well, nor Shao and Freljord have so many things going against them. Ionia and Bilge really have the best chances out of anyone to go to the finals and win.
Alright, just loading into the game now. Daggerrock's connected for me in the loading screen, but Dark's off.
Yeah, Dark just came back.
Yeah, so I told Heavy Weapons guy they can't remake. So yeah,
can they still pause or?
Yeah, they can pause. Pause time is allowed. It's remake that is not allowed. So yeah, they really want now. I know he's a great player, and so they're trying really hard to get him back. But it could end up resulting in a 4v5. We hope not, because watching a game a 4v5, it's usually a stomp, and that's not very entertaining for people to watch. So he was hoping we get a nice, exciting game out of these teams.
Although if anyone could pull out a 4v5 with their comp, I think Bilgewater could.
Yeah, that's true. Bilgewater, they look unstoppable usually. So yeah, Heavy Weapons guy is great. Dark Omega is, even though he's technically unranked, he plays like a diamond on that gangplank. So
that's crazy.
I mean, yeah, I was joking in the very first lobby. It's like Bilge almost has 3 diamonds because they have Heavy Weapons guys a diamond, Nagrok, who used to be diamond and still plays like it, Dark Omega, who looks like a diamond on that gangplank. So yeah, anytime you're playing against Bilgewater, it really feels like you're just playing a team full of diamonds.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, loading into it. Dark is still AFK, and Nagarox is AFK as well as in game.
Yeah.
They do get pause time. That is the one thing Bilgewater can do, is pause for up to 5 minutes.
A summoner has reconnected.
Naga seems to be back. Gangplank's still gone.
I've got a bad feeling. I hope these ping issues that they're having aren't going to be throughout the whole game.
Yeah, this, the last time Bilgewater went undefeated, they are looking to have a very rough start.
Yep. I believe.
Who knows, maybe that feature match set up by Freljord is like signaling the doom of Bilgewater. Yeah, who would have thought it? They go almost undefeated for the whole arc. Then at the very end, they can't win anything, and Freljord or Ionia is going to win.
Some of us think Bilgewater's cursed for betraying their allies in Crossleila.
That's what the dead do. They curse people. Apparently.
I can neither confirm or deny that we have sent spooky ghosts to interfere with Dark Omega's internet connection.
Oh my god. I was playing a game, like a normals with them the other day, and like Dark, he was mid lane, and he just kept blaming his Mexican internet. He was DC'd for like half the game. But we still won.
That's Bilge.
Yeah.
They don't care what happens, they just win.
Yeah. It wasn't a factions game, it was just a normal team builder.
Okay. Yeah, that does seem to be Bilgewater's strategy, though. Win.
Yeah.
I hear it's a pretty effective strategy.
It's like the same as, your strategy to avoid CC. You just kill the guy. So, they're saying, yeah, Dark Omega having problems. They have another 3 minutes of pause. Alright,
Have we gotten any messages from them?
I message Heavy. I think they're okay. I can check. Yeah, they're still in a game right now, so...
They can't remake. I mean, if Ionia chose to be very, very nice, Ionia could use their remake, but we would get really behind schedule, and that would be contrary to, Ionia's interests of wanting to win.
Well, Dark Omega just reconnected for me.
Yeah, they're still in a game.
Yeah.
There he is.
Okay, so restarting.
Our beloved master of crits has rejoined us.
Dark expressing his love of firewalls.
Kawhi about to run into Victor. They both throw wards down. Kali backs off because before level 6 she doesn't have a ton of power. While Victor, he can probably put some damage out. So, Pancho, you're a pretty good top lane. How do you think this top lane is going to work out?
If I was to call this right away, I'd probably say Irelia has a really good chance of beating Gangplank, especially the way Dark Omega usually likes to run his Gangplank. I would say that Irelia could probably get an easy all-in early on, and that could really easily start snowballing the lane. I mean, whoever really starts getting the first kills there, that's going to just decide it. And I feel like from what we've seen with Dark Omega, if he just gets one single kill, so if Irelia makes one mistake, or too many crits happen on her, I mean, Dark Omega is just going to start snowballing and almost crush this entire game.
So it's really up to Irelia playing the early game perfectly.
Well said. It looks like there's going to be an invade up in red buff, but Gangplank spotted it. Ooh.
He's in a
Face check by Dark Omega. Oh, he flashed over the wall.
Over the wall! Nice Sonic Wave! But he ultimately has to back off because Irelia can't follow him.
Looks like Lee Sin will be starting topside Bilgewater's Golems.
That does help Irelia out. She gets a lot of free farm, gonna get a gold lead and an experience lead early on. That's really gonna help, shut down this god of a crit plank that we usually see.
Now, what do you think of this mid lane matchup? We have heavy weapons guy on Victor versus Kawhi as soon as Akali.
I'm gonna start by saying Kawhi is really good on Akali. She was a nightmare to deal with last time Shaw's played Ionia. But this is heavy weapons guy. He's a plat and Victor kind of beats Akali in general. So I gotta say it's all gonna go to Victor and heavy weapons guy in the mid lane.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I mean, a lot of Ionia's success has come from Kawhi Asuna just snowballing out of control on that Akali. I don't know. I mean, is heavy weapons guy actually going to be able to prevent that? Because I mean, even if he does, just absolutely shit on Akali during the laning phase, leaving her with very little CS. If she roams bot and just gets a few kills, that could be a major problem for Bilgewater.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons why many people think Akali is OP, is because, yeah, she just needs like 1 or 2 kills, and she'll just start snowballing. It doesn't really matter how well you deny her CS in the early game. Now, moving on to some of the junglers, so, we saw Lee Sin earlier did the early invade, forced Gangplank to back. Lee Sin got the Krugs, but did not go for red. While that was happening, Nahus went ahead and took Lee Sin's red, and so he's short a buff, and he didn't pick up blue either because, Lee Sin doesn't really need blue. So jungle-wise, that went really well for Bilgewater, although top lane, that helped out Aurelia, although she hasn't really capitalized on that advantage she got. She's only a few CS ahead, and she's taking a lot of harass.
Well, she does have teleport as well as a lot of sustain. First blood heading over to Ionia in the bot lane, catching out Nagarok there. I hope that's not a connection issue.
My initial reaction is, Nagarok is a god usually, and so it would be a connection issue. But at the same time, Capbox is an amazing, amazing ADC. So it could be either one. I mean, just because they're both really high tier players.
They could go for the dive down here.
Oh, in the top lane though, Nautilus looking to gank.
Oh,
she goes in on Gangplank. Oh, this is not going to work out for her.
Oh, beautiful time hook from Raw.
Yeah. He knew exactly what to do. He didn't try, use his hook to get in there early. He's like, wait for that flash and then go in. Oh! They go doing the tower dive in bot lane. Oh! Ooh, that was so close, and now Lucian has to run from Lulu. Oh!
Nagarok picking up the kill on Catbox.
He is getting his vengeance and is hoping to get more.
Ooh, just barely missed the Pluto Lance.
Yeah. Yeah, so top lane, that's in favor of Bilge, thanks to the gank. Jungle, about the same, although Lucian got behind on buffs, and is having less lane pressure as a result. Mid lane is actually going dead even in CS, despite Victor having the early game advantage. So that's actually a very bad sign for Bilge. If he can't keep Akali out of CS before level 6, and now she just hit 6, that's going to be a very scary thought for Bilgewater. Bot lane, I'm gonna have to say that I think the kill on the AC is worth more than the kill on the support, but we're gonna see. I mean, we've seen Nagarok go support and end up doing the most damage in the game and carrying, so...
Nagarok has been known to carry on his support. Lucian is really, really far ahead of Graves in CS right now, as well as the top of the kill. This is going to be really tough for Bilgewater in the bot lane. So far this game is looking to be shaping up in Ionia's favor.
Yeah, well, look at the gold difference between the supports on their items. Let's see.
Kawhi Asuna just picked up a kill on a heavy weapons guy in mid lane in a 2v2 with the junglers.
Yeah, so that is not good for Bilge. Besides, even though we were saying it kind of feels like Bilge always has 3 diamonds. That is their technical 1 diamond. By definition, he's the only diamond in the game. And he just lost. And that Akali is going to be snowballing. Oh, top lane. Aurelia going in. She ults. But she doesn't stay. I think she should have stayed because she went in, started the all-in, and then just backed away, which means Gangplank's going to be able to harass her.
It was going to be a difficult all-in for Aurelia because there was just so many minions on Gangplank's side. It would have been almost impossible for her to win that.
But at the same time, I'm just thinking, Gangplank has the better harass and he has the better sustain.
It's good for her to actually try to get into the fight, but that was not the time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There, I'll let you finish.
Alright, well, I was just going to say, since she blew her ult, she won't really be able to do another engage for a while. And so Gangplank gets free harass for a long time, and he knows it, and he's just going to be able to abuse it. And yeah, he's really pushing Aurelia back out of the, ability to the last hit.
There, Aurelia's ult is on a very short cooldown, so it should be up again. She's just going to be sitting here grabbing what CS she can, but it looks like Dark Omega is just going to be taking over this lane.
So yeah, let's see.
Raw's coming top lane. They might be looking to dive.
Yeah, so far, top lane and jungler are going Bilgewater's way, but Sona picks up the Lulu kill in the bot lane.
Oof.
Yeah,
that is not good.
That is not what Bilgewater wants. I mean, I didn't see that. I really want to, see the next fight where someone dies in the bot lane because we're not sure if Naga is still having connection issues or not. I want to see what's going on there.
Regardless connection
going
issues.
in for the gank.
Ooh.
Is he going to kick him?
Oh,
There
that is
we
going to
go.
be a dead pirate. Fantastic combo from Lee Sin.
Yeah, that is really what Aurelia needed. That helped her a lot.
And Aurelia's actually
That's all.
still above, still leading a Gangplank in CS, despite being zoned out of the wave.
Yeah, that has the teleport, I think, as a result.
Ooh,
mid
boy,
lane,
Sunu's getting caught in the
Akali!
river.
Oh man, she is. Can she jump to the crab? Oh, she
Jump
gets
to the
there, but gets stunned by Nautilus.
Heavy weapons guy
Small
flashes.
misses.
He's out of mana. It's up to the Nautilus to get this kill.
She's going.
Heal.
Oh, the stun.
Ooh.
She gets away,
She's gonna get away, but she's running right into the tower.
but she's using her ult for the minions to get some distance. But now she's run into the gangplank. Oh. I think she would have been able to get away if not for Gangplank's timing on the, coming back to lane there.
Mm-hmm. It was a great escape attempt, but it's very unfortunate. Gangplank just being right there, right place at the right time.
I mean, it's like, there were better options knowing Gangplank was going to be there, but, she didn't know that. They don't have vision in, that lane. You don't have that kind of vision this early in the game.
Looking at bot lane, Catbox has an absolutely commanding lead over Zalk. 90 CS to 48.
I believe Zalk is a silver.
Yeah, he's a silver player.
So it's the, Catbox, he's technically gold, but he was platinum. He still looks like it, and he is an amazing ADC main. Basically the equivalent of a plat, I would have to feel. Or equivalent of a diamond. And, yeah. And Pervalis is, gold player, really good too. So, yeah, that's going to be very painful for Bilgewater in the bot lane. Nautilus should probably try to put some focus there. Oh, top lane.
Dark Omega's getting ganked again.
It flashes. Lee Sin misses the Sonic Wave.
It's just too much damage for Gangplank to deal with.
Yeah, that was a well-timed smite. Oh, Akali going in on the mid lane. Gets the damage down, puts down the Twilight Shroud, and is just happy with that.
Ooh, heavy weapons guy wasting his gravity field. Boy, I assume he wouldn't be able to jump on him.
Oh, it was a bait. But that could be a bait for the Nautilus. So what I think that was, Victor picked down the gravity well to try to bait the Akali go in and let the Nautilus, go in for the gank because Akali would commit to the fight. Which worked, but Akali had enough damage to quickly burst out the Victor before Raw could have much of an impact.
It is never worth it to go 1-for-1 with an Akali.
Yeah, even though normally if you go 1-for-1 but your team gets an assist and the other team doesn't, that's more gold for your team. But Akali, yeah, like you said, you don't want to go 1-for-1 with Akali.
Alright, looks like Bilgewater's going to be trying its luck at ganking Aurelia. Pretty good spacing by Bilgewater. Getting the slow onto them. Oh, but Rob misses the anchor.
The
Dropping the ultimate.
Followed by ult.
Oh, Aurelia's just going to be able to flash this wall. Yep, that's it. She's gone.
That was a lot burned for just a flash. That was the exhaust and ult from Nautilus. So all in all, Aurelia technically wins out based on the number of things burnt.
Yeah. I've been kind of surprised. Nautilus hasn't been showing his face too much bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, top lane, Dark Omega is winning that unless Lee Sin shows up for a gank. And so I think he should let Dark Omega just, continue his dominance and focus on the bot lane and try help turn this bot lane around.
Especially because Catbox actually has been pushed up for most of this, but it looks like he's trying to freeze the wave now.
Yeah,
Opening up for...
Freezing the wave is usually something you wait till you have a pretty significant lead before you try to. And yeah, he's established that. Now he's moved on. Lee Sin tries to gank, but Bilgewater is playing very cautiously and for good reason. Not able to kill the ward because the Raptor vision goes away too soon for him.
That minion. Chasing Lee Sin in the jungle.
Raw shows up in bot lane though. He finally listened to us. Oh, off the Graves.
It's just not enough. It's just not enough. It doesn't look like they're going to be going for the dive.
I think bot lane itself is too low. Oh, Lee Sin!
Ooh, forcing out the Lulu ulti.
Yeah. Let's see, Aurelia looking maybe to try gank her own lane. Nope, just waiting for some CS she can get.
I think Aurelia has this as just a straight up fight, even with the health difference. I mean, Aurelia with her, Aurelia with the items she has now compared. Oh!
Wow.
Zolf getting caught out. Wow, okay. Bot lane just won't let me look anywhere else.
That is why a lot of times it's usually best for bot lane when one of the two in bot lane has to recall, the other one just goes with them. Because otherwise, you know, 2v1, you're either just going to be sitting there denied farm experience, or you're going to be put out there very risky and risk dying.
Looks like Catbox
Tower
trying to
looking to be going down. Yeah, I think Catbox will get it.
Yeah. Second turret of the game for Ionia. The first, Bilgewater did get mid turret, but first.
So, second turn of the game. Towers are tied up. So yeah. Looks like Nautilus is looking to gank top lane. I really saw season through the wards, and so she knows to back off.
That's actually interesting. Is that? Yeah, Raw actually ended up building a Devourer on Nautilus.
I very question that because, you know, maybe with the old Devourer that was just ridiculously OP. I could see it as a potential, even though it's uncharacteristic for Nautilus to go for damage and attack speed. But with the new Devourer, I don't see why he would do that.
Raw's just doing what Raw wants, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Go ahead.
small gold lead for Ionia right now. Look, which is not what which Bilgewater needed. Ionia is going to scale a lot harder than them into the late game.
Yeah. You know, Akali, very good, you know, late game carry. Aurelia scales really well. Lucian and Sonya, as you know, they're going to be able to do quite a bit late game as well. Lee Sin is like the only person that on Ionia that isn't going to be hyper scaling.
And while normally I would give the team fight advantage to Bilgewater, Nautilus is going like some fairly squishy damage items. Like he went to Devour instead of getting his Juggernaut upgrade. And that's going to be a problem.
To Ionia. Aurelia trying to just wave clear with her ult to protect the top lane tower. It won't be going down this way, but they are putting a fair amount of damage on it. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this Aurelia because you know she got a lot of help from Lee Sin, but at the same time, you know, Nautilus has been up in the top lane about just as much of the time as Lee Sin has, and she is up in CS. I mean, I was fully expecting Serrano to dominate top lane. Oh, but bot lane, Sona goes down, but so does Graves and Nautilus.
Picking up 2 easy kills for Ionia. Lucian is now 3-1.
And 2 assists, and most CS in the game. And the last person you want fed on a team is the ADC. I mean, sure, you can say that Akali hyperscales too, but just like, you know, in general, the ADC is the last person you want fed. Because their late game power, like in DPS and like, you know, objective killing ability.
Ooh, a Bosch dive from Ionia in the top lane.
Lee Sin needs to get there quick.
Ooh, I really was barely living.
Lee Sin was a little late to that, but did get there just in time to protect Aurelia. Now he's
It looks like
hoping
Akali's going to be trying to pick that up.
Yeah.
It's going to be for Kawhi.
This is going about as good as I know it could hope for the early game.
Yeah,
Kawhi is snowballing. Aurelia did not get destroyed. Lucian is going to be a monster. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I have to just agree with you there. I mean, Ionia basically couldn't have asked for a better early game.
That's what I said. I was saying, yeah, like this, Ionia could not have hoped for this to go better. This is as good as they could possibly expect.
So far, I have not been too impressed with heavy weapons guy on Victor. He has not been. He's not been zoning Akali as much as he should have early in the game, and he's kind of let Akali snowball out of control.
Yeah, it was like he was pushing, but he wasn't stopping her from getting CS. They were equal in CS. Like now that Akali started roaming, he's gotten a little bit of CS lead. That means nothing compared to the 3 kills that Akali has. The towers are tied up. Dragon. So, like, Ionia is very slightly ahead in objectives with the Dragon. But, you know, they got the big kill lead. And so, 3,000 goal lead about. And, you know, we're expecting that to just keep snowballing. Oh,
looks like Aurelia's
gameplay.
Aurelia's getting caught out, and it looks like Graves and Nautilus are both going to be trying to collapse on her. Oh! Gangplank misplaces his ult.
And that Trinity Force is letting Aurelia get pretty good distance. Oh, she's out.
Nice
oh, there's the flash. But yeah, she would have been out of range of Nautilus' hook, but he flashed and then hooked, putting him back in range. Almost escaped, not quite, but that did draw 3 members of Bilge to the top lane. Perhaps if Ionia had been a little more coordinated, they could have taken advantage of how many players were top lane and pushed an objective elsewhere.
It looks like they were going to try to go for mid-turn, but, I mean, Victor's wave player is very good when he starts to get that first over. Oh, a beautiful kick, but no one's able to pull it.
Oh, from someone catches 3 of them! Colin goes in, flashes out, Stealth have hooked. There goes the Lulu! Graves is so low!
This Lee Sin.
Oh man! A 5 for 1! An ace for 1 kill!
That was a really gutsy fight from Ionia, because they started that fight outnumbered.
Yeah, that looks like a very bad fight. I was thinking, oh no, what is this Lee Sin doing? He's gonna get his team killed by going in like this, but no. I doubt him, and I shouldn't have. That was an amazing fight.
This Lee Sin has really been pulling his weight on Ionia. He has set up so many ganks and kills. It's just...
Yeah. Wow. Great job. Dragon coming up in a little over a minute. Ionia looking to just take all these jungle camps away, just deny Bilgewater everything they can. Kali wants this red buff, but she's very low. But then again, she's a Kali. She has so much built-in sustain. Red buff gone. Blue buff was already down, I think, at the time.
I mean, Bilgewater's really gonna have to... Oh, and that's Nagorok disconnecting too. I mean, things are just not looking good for Bilgewater. Oh man.
That is going to be the final nail in Bilgewater's coffin. Because even if Naga gets back, this is going to be time where it's a 45. Although they are picking out Aurelia, that's something. Aurelia's going down, she's just throwing her ult.
That is what they need. They're gonna just kind of try to need to pick off a few of Ionia's team members, get some of their own going, and just hope that it's enough to deal with this really, really scary Akali and Lucian.
Yeah. 45, Akali and Lucian being so fed. Yeah, this... I mean, Bilgewater is really in the hole right here. Although Aurelia got cut out looking like she was trying to do a split push, but the thing is, a lot of people don't seem to know how to properly do a split push. A split push is effective when you have one person with either global power or just so strong that no single person on the team can fight them. In this case, it was the teleport that gave her global pressure. And then while they were pushing the lane, the rest of the team needs to be pushing in another lane. Because that way they have to, you know, choose how to split their forces, and it's going to hurt them. But if it's just you split pushing by yourself while the rest of the team is not, you know, pressuring a different lane, it's no brainer, real easy for the other team to count. They just go up and kill you.
And I mean, I really like Ionia does not need to be using any sort of split pushing whatsoever. I mean, they are much stronger right now. They can just group and force objectives, and there's very little Bilgewater can do about it at this point.
Yeah. They got mid lane pushed in. I mean, I could see them, if they just build up a super wave, just get this really big wave started in mid lane, which they kind of have going. They can easily pressure another lane because Bilgewater, with just their inhibitor tower, will have to respond to that wave of minions, send someone there, and they can pressure the tower, which is what they're starting to do. Although they're having a tough time clearing the minion wave in the top lane. They're just having Aurelia who doesn't have the best wave clearing. She kind of just has to attack the minions one at a time. Can't pop them.
Graves is actually going by himself down mid lane trying to take third. It looks like he's going to be backing out.
And that's how you do a split push. That was a great split push by Bilgewater there. It, forced Ionia to have to, okay, we gotta back off and deal with Graves. And so it took all that pressure off of the top tower.
Oh, looks like Nagarok's going to be caught out in the top lane. No CC is
all
landed.
All the shots are missing him. The slow, the ult's hitting, but then he's too slow to keep it on her. Gangplank ult coming out late and having no effect. So Akali being caught out. Twilight Shot protection where his zone is.
Even with the crowd control, I mean, they're still getting just... Oh.
Ooh. Wow, that is not what Bilgewater wanted.
I mean, that was a great catch-out by Bilgewater, but they just weren't able to focus down the guys they needed to. I mean, they got Akali, but then they left Catbox up. And he was able to just clean up that entire fight and take objectives out of it, too.
It was like, Bilgewater had the great engage they wanted, but then the re-engage by Ionia was great because they were able to keep him off the Catbox. And, Akali's able to stall out that fight because of her Zonias. And so it really made it hard for Bilgewater to focus the people they needed to. So even though that was a great start to the fight for Bilgewater, they'll just re-engage and how far ahead Ionia is, flipped it on its head.
Catbox is going to be stealing away Bilgewater's blue buff. Mana and CDR both were great stats on Lucian.
Yeah. It is worth noting that Lucian did get a nerf in the last patch, but that doesn't seem to be slowing Catbox down in the slightest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a fairly minor nerf to some of the more, I don't know, more unneeded damage I guess he had in his kit on some of the utility spells he had.
Yeah. See, really going back to the split push. Nautilus is nearby, but now he's going in. But she has her team to back her up.
Exploding.
Wow, yeah, that Gangplank is no longer the crit plank insanity that we're used to seeing. This is so uncharacteristic. He does have the most kills on Bilgewater.
Well, he does have the most kills. I mean, this is kind of just the problem with Crit Plank. He's just building 0 tank items. He's relying solely on just getting crits and bursting people down. And he's just not getting it.
Yeah, the thing about Crit Plank is it's great for duels because you can burst someone easy, but in team fights, it's only going to work if your team can keep them off you. And it doesn't seem to be coming out that way. Akali goes down. That's good for Bilgewater.
A failed dive, but it still went 1-for-1.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Although Akali being down kind of alleviates a lot of the pressure.
Yeah.
On Bilgewater
Akali
right now.
for Lulu is definitely in the favor of Bilgewater here. That was just a lack of coordination, it felt like, from Ionia. They didn't have their whole team involved in that dive. If they went in as a team, they probably could have aced them just because of how these fights have been going. But it wasn't their whole team coordinated, going in together. It was much more back and disorganized, and so Bilgewater got the upper hand on that. They protect their tower, stop the siege, shut down that, Akali that's been snowballing.
Bilgewater's actually pinging out the Dragon Pit, but they don't have any timers on it. They don't know it's down right now. It's going to be up in the next 40 seconds.
They have some rough estimate, but yeah, they got another 40 seconds to wait. Ionia has no vision on it. They don't even know that Bilgewater has vision because they didn't see any wards to scout out anything really in that area. So finally, showing up and place some wards, I'm assuming.
Well, Akali's just finally starting to get all of her major items. I mean, she's going to be absolutely terrifying with... She has 484 ability power right now. Absolutely monstrous sustain and burst.
Yeah. She's got Zonia's to keep her alive. Lee Sin has a locket of the Iron Sorori that will give another shield to keep her alive during those dives. You know, she has a ton of built-in, you know, lifesteal and stove amp. Plus she has what is that thing called? A revolver?
Yeah, that's a revolver. Looks like Ionia's going to be picking up their third dragon of the game. That's going to be giving them the movement speed up. It's just... I don't know, this is going to be very, very difficult for Bilgewater to come back from any of this. I mean, they're just not pulling out the coordinated pickoffs that they need.
Yeah, and... Go ahead.
Ionia just has a much better vision control than them, and even in their own jungle. I mean, if you look at the map right now, there is one ward from Bilgewater on the entire map. This is not what they need. Actually, no, there's two. My mistake. But they need to be warding up their own side of the map better, and just picking off, because they are moving around in the jungle a lot. They could easily get a quick pick off with a huge amount of burst they have on their team from Victor, Gangplank, and Graves. But yeah, they're just not getting any of it.
Like if you look at Ionia, you know, the support has a Sightstone, which is, you know, a requirement for support basically in the current meta. But also Lee Sin got Sightstone, which more Lee Sin should do in my opinion. I don't know why they don't, but like, you know, it's free vision, and vision is very much OP. And you know, Lee Sin, that gives him, you know, bunches of free wards he can use to hop around with.
Bilgewater's middle inhibitors open up, actually. Ionia might want to group up and go for that.
Yeah, there's a few options they can work with here in that mid lane. They can do like a split push, because Aurelia has the teleport, but they don't really need to do that. They're so ahead that they don't have to do a split push comp. They start up with Super Wave and have the wave pressure mid lane, and because this is an exposed inhibitor, Bilgewater has to respond, and it would make an easy fight in a different tower. But it looks like they're just trying to... They're not really working at making moves as a team, and that is a mistake.
Aurelia
fighting the tower,
trying to get damage on the tower.
That was not smart.
That was not. She's not that far ahead that she can just ignore Gangplank at this point. It looks like Gangplank's actually going to be picking up a kill here. Oh, using the ult.
Pretty slow on all this stuff.
Ooh, pause coming out. But that did mean, Nautilus being top did mean Ionia could force bot lane and grab that tower.
Yep. So now Ionia is using the pause.
Sona having some issues.
And they're back. So free tower, and they can try and make a move while Gangplank is still top. Doesn't look like it though. They don't want to push their luck. They're wanting to play a little safer, a little smarter.
Ionia has a 10k gold lead over Bilgewater right now.
Yeah. Well, Ionia could easily do it. They have all the waves pushed up, and so Bilgewater's gonna have to, you know, deal with all those. And Bilgewater has no vision anywhere near Baron. It would be an easy Baron for Ionia to take. And with Baron up, you know, that gives them crazy sieging and pushing the power. They could easily use that to crack open the base of Bilgewater, take that exposed inhib, take down those towers with Baron buff. Let's see, they have about almost an 11,000 gold lead for Ionia. They got 5 more towers than Bilgewater, and they have, I believe, 3 dragons compared to Bilgewater's 0. And they have, what is that, 9 more kills.
33 minutes into the game, and Lucian's already almost looking at his full build. He's on 5 items right now. That is a terrifying amount of damage for Bilgewater to deal with.
Yeah, and yeah, they're going for Baron like I was suggesting. And Bilgewater has no vision, and even if they did, they don't really have the power to contest Ionia here.
Ionia is having none of Baron's Christmas Spirit, and they just easy Baron pick up for them. Very little damage to them, and now Bilgewater's gonna have a really tough time stopping this push.
Maybe though, Ionia just made Baron's Nihilist. Those buffed up minions are making it a lot harder to clear. You can just see how much harder it is for the Bilgewater to kill these minions. It's going to make it so much easier for Ionia to work with these sieges and pushes. Split pushing, not really necessary. And if they were to have someone split push, it would be the person with teleport, aka Ionia.
Although I do feel that with the Sona ult and the Lee Sin kick, Ionia actually has enough disengage that if Bilgewater tried to force something, they could get out while Akali's split pushing.
Well, I'm saying if Akali was there, they can use that Sona ult for an ace. Yeah, and as you might have seen there in the top lane, the buff. Oh, we got fight looking in the mid lane. The hit goes down, like picks are very low. He gets out. Lucian ult. Powered up by the Ghost Blade. For the zone, yes, because she's all by herself.
Catbox and Kawhi just almost trying to solo the entire Bilgewater team themselves. And that's a 2-for-1.
Yeah,
I mean, that was actually a pretty well played fight by Bilgewater.
Yep. Once again, it felt like, Ionia didn't go in as a team. They were uncoordinated, and so they didn't have everything going on. It was like, like you said, it felt like Catbox and Kawhi were trying to solo everybody. And while they did get everybody
Still
low...
trying.
Oh man, Catbox!
Well, Catbox is trying to prove to everyone that he's the master of Lucian. I feel like that could have gone a lot worse. Like, you can't have that kind of showboating and like when you're this close to the enemy team is look.
That's exactly why. Now really she tried teleporting to help him out, but that's a teleport wasted. So all that is a 3-for-3 when you look at the end of it, plus the inhibitor requirement. So technically they won, but it should have gone better for them with their Baron buff and their gigantic lead.
Alright, Ionia going to be picking up their 4th dragon here. Honestly, if Bilgewater doesn't do anything to stop this, I mean, they're not going to be able to. They don't stop them from taking their 5th dragon. I'd call this game over if they can't stop it.
5th dragon buff is worth more than a Baron buff, and based on this game's going, Ionia can easily get a 5th dragon and Baron buff at the same time. At which point, maybe Kawhi, Suna, and Catbox could solo the entire enemy team together.
Lucian now got his full build. Now he might be able to solo the team. Who knows? Akali is sitting at 4 items. She's finally got her Gunblade now, so that's going to be a absolutely crazy mess of saying that Bilgewater's just going to have to quickly burst her down. Fight opening up in the mid lane.
Yeah, Lee Sin, he goes in but backs off. He does burn the Gangplank ult. That is good, although that is not a very long cooldown. Doing their split push, well, I think if Ionia really wants to do a split push, which they don't need to, they should have Varelli in the top lane, leave mid lane alone because that's Superman, and have the rest of their team in the bot lane. But honestly, I think they should just, group up as 5 and just end it. They have the full power to do so if they go in coordinated as a team, which they haven't been doing so in the last few fights.
Well, Ionia's comp is probably not the greatest for diving turrets. So Ionia, all it really needs to do right now is just sit back and wait for their objectives. Because, I mean, Bilgewater really can't do much right now.
They're stuck inside their base, really.
Yeah, they can't go anywhere. Ionia has fantastic wards in the red and blue jungles. So Bilgewater's not going to be able to go anywhere without Ionia knowing about it. I mean, Ionia is under no pressure here to force anything.
Yeah, they can just do this, like kind of like the Anaconda type deal where you just slowly suffocate Bilgewater out of this game by just denying them everything. Oh, Akali diving in, gets Gangplank Rule, and then just backs out. She knows she doesn't have to risk going in any deeper than that. Gangplank already has to back.
2 minutes on the Baron timer. I mean, Ionia really can't risk too much here because if Bilgewater does get the next Baron buff, that could be enough for them to start turning this game around.
Lisa goes
fantastic
in,
kick, Kating Heavy Weapons guy out of position. Oh, and
Sono only catches one person out.
Akali just getting locked in. Ionia going in one at a time. Not really distinct lack of coordination from Ionia.
Yeah, that is. I mean, they're winning because they're able to get objectives after the trade, but they're just still their coordination in the engage on fights has not been that good. Oh,
monstrous damage on Lucian, just deleting Nagorok.
Catbox stays very low thanks to a good hook by the Nautilus, but he survives. Mirror's about to respawn. I know everyone wants to take it, but at the same time they want to back off to avoid any losses. That is inhibitor up. Really not with her team, she's split pushing here.
Trying to get the wave going, and it looks like Ionia's going to be trying to get all three of the inhibitors on this push, but no, they're going to be forced off. Or not, they're dancing around, really.
Yeah. 30 seconds for Baron. It appears Ionia's going to back and then probably head for it. And Bilgewater would still be stuck inside their base with no vision on Baron or knowledge of the timer.
Yeah, it looks like Ionia's just going to be grouping up and just going to grab this Baron as soon as it spawns. Actually, Lee Sin backing. I guess they just don't feel they don't feel threatened at all by Bilgewater. I mean, leaving this open like this? No.
Is Akali going to try solo it? No. Oh, maybe she put damage on it and it's angry! That's like, crocodile, Steve Irwin the crocodile thing, you touch something. It's angry! Alright, they're getting Baron. Down.
Poor Baron just kind of left alone.
Yeah. He's like, I got my festive Santa hat, I want to go to a Christmas party, but you keep coming over and killing me.
Alright, well, now Ionia, massive gold lead, Baron buff. I think this is just going to be the final push.
Yeah, I mean, even if they just force Bilgewater to siege this up, they got many ways in the top, super minions in the top lane that are going to be pushing, so... I mean, Ionia has the potential to dive and win if they stay coordinated.
Actually, Sona is back in the base. I don't know if she's having some sort of connection issues, but this is a 4v5.
In the middle, Ionia winning that 45, and even after their ADC got caught out. That was... So, Gangplank and Rob, or Gangplank and Nautilus both ulted onto the Lucian, and then Nautilus flash and ult hooked Lucian, and that's a lot CC going on, so it looks like he's going to go down. He doesn't though. Ionia quickly goes in and turns that fight that should have been in Bilgewater's favor.
I gotta hand it to Bilgewater in that last fight.
Wow.
I mean, they played that last fight as well as they could have with the gold disadvantage they're at. I mean, they caught out Catbox, and if Catbox wasn't so monstrously far ahead, that would have been it.
But yeah, that was just insane lead by Ionia that just proved even if they had a poor team fight, they were so far ahead that it was still go in their favor. Wow, yeah, that was amazing game. Ionia commanded basically the whole time, although they did give up a few deaths they didn't need to by having some lack of coordination in those team fights. You want to start off the MVPs, unless you have anything else to say?
Um, no, I just about agree with everything you said there. I think you hit the nail right on the head. But for MVPs, I mean, as much as it's tempting to give it to Catbox and Asuna for just completely for the huge contributions to the team fights, I still actually got to hand it to Lee Sin for setting everything up from the very start of the game. He got both he got Asuna. He was helping out top and mid a lot, and he set up a lot of those fights with just by kicking people out of position. Maybe I'm just a sucker for good Lee Sin play, but I actually got to give it to Lightfixer.
I do want to say, yeah, Lee Sin did all that, like you said. There were a few times, though, where, he kind of, in those poorly organized team fights by Ionia where he was, like, diving by himself. But, I mean, that was small compared to how many contributions he did. Plus, that was kind of all Ionia as a whole failing to commit to the fight. So, yeah, Lee Sin MVP for Ionia. What about Bilge?
Honestly, I don't really know. I think Bilgewater all was just kind of... I mean, it's really hard to have a huge standout player when you're that far behind the entire game. You're constantly playing from the back. I mean, I honestly, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, like you said, it is hard, but, I mean, if you look at, past the lane phase, it really just felt like Bilgewater as a whole was really playing. All their players it felt like they were playing equally compared to each other. But in the early game, it did feel like Raw on Nautilus was making a lot of moves, a lot of ganks to try to help people, with their laning phase. He put a lot of pressure in the top lane to try keep Aurelia down and farm, and forced Lee Sin to respond by ganking up there. Had some really nice hooks. So I got to say, because Nautilus had the most early game pressure, it felt like MVP, in my opinion, for him.
Actually, yeah, I'd agree with you. He was able to get, for a while, it did look like Dark Omega was going to start just snowballing that top lane, and it wasn't really until Lee started showing up that Aurelia was able to make a comeback. I mean, yeah, I got to hand it to Ra. He was really, out of all of Bilgewater, he was really showing the most promise there.
They got some, especially that last team fight, too. That last team fight, he got the lockdown that you needed on that cat box. And for all, and, it should have been Catbox should have died from that. He played it as well as he could have, but it's just that Ionia was so far ahead that even when you get the perfect engage that you want, it didn't matter.
Yeah. So yeah, I do. I'll have to give my MVP to Nautilus there, just for his contribution in team fights and during the laning phase.
Yeah, so Lee Sin and Nautilus, you take the MVPs. But it is Ionia that takes the first game. So yeah, that is kind of reversal of the last tournament where Bilgewater was undefeated completely. So maybe, yeah, Freljord really did something to Bilgewater in that defeat. So who knows? Ionia is now starting to look like the team to beat for the tournament. We'll find out, though, as the games progress.
All right. I'm going
to
end the stream and get ready for the next game.
Yep, so stay right there, folks. We'll be back soon.